Good morning and welcome to the Hour Show. I'm Awa, and today I have a special guest. Her name is Sonia Milord. Sonia Milord, just not too long ago, had written a beautiful kids book, and today I am very honored to have her in my show. How are you, Sonia?
I'm well, thanks, Awa. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Sonia, tell me how the story started.
Well, the book is dedicated to my grandmother, who is the biggest inspiration in my life, and also to the victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks. It's to those who survived, those who lost their lives, and those who lost their spirits. I wrote the book because I wanted to inspire young children to read and have a story that was written from a child's voice, and to also teach them about America's history at the same time.
Wow. Beautiful. I mean, you mentioned September 11, which we were all really emotionally shocked and touched by it. But on top of it, I think you were there.
Yes.
You happened to be in New York.
Yes, I actually worked in the Tower 1 building up until the week before.
Wow.
And fortunately for me, my office was moved across the street. I worked on the 107th floor of the Tower 1 building, and but I did see the attack firsthand.
Wow.
And the second plane actually flew over my head once I exited my office building minutes after the first plane struck.
Oh my God. So this book was a result of a big trauma.
Yes, it was. I experienced a lot of post-traumatic stress after that, and once I finally recovered from that experience, I wanted to do something inspirational and something meaningful with my life. And as a result, I chose to write this book, and it was actually inspired by my nephew, who at the time did not like to read, and I wanted to find something that was enjoyable for him. And it was difficult for me to find children's books that talked about African American history, African American inventors that were enjoyable and fun. So I just made a decision to write one so that would inspire not only African American children, but all children.
So this book called In One Day.
Yes.
Hope you can see that. I know was not written in one day, but is about African American inventors. And I read this book, and it's more than a kid book. I learned so much, and I have to thank you for it.
Well, it's a pleasure. It warms my heart every time I hear that. It warms my heart every time I hear a child tells me how much they loved reading it, how much they loved, how much they learned from it. And that was the whole purpose of me writing it. My goal is to get the book in every school in America. I started, I'm shortly on my way, and hopefully soon I'll be reaching my goal.
I'm sure you will. How challenging was it to write this book?
Oh, it's extremely challenging because I had never written a book before. And not only did I write the book, but I published the book.
Wow.
So I had to learn how to write from a child's voice. I had been writing since I was 14, but I had not written anything to be published. So there's several things you have to do differently.
Yes.
So I had to learn from that experience, and that was an awesome experience. And then once I actually completed the writing of the book, I helped design the illustrations of the book. And once that was completed, I had to learn how to actually publish a book.
While you were writing this book, were you aware of any emotions that really you were going through in your life? Because it's coming from a post-trauma, so it's related to you at the same time.
Yes. For me, it was extremely emotional because I had to dig deep.
Yes.
There are days when things come easy for you, and everything flows. And then there are days when you don't feel as inspired, or you question yourself, or you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to wonder why you began to take on this challenge. You wonder how you're ever even going to be able to finish. You know, what made you come up with this crazy idea because you had never done this before.
Yes.
So it really forces you to find your true self and believe in something greater than yourself, and believe that God can give you the strength and the courage and the wisdom to do what He's placed on your heart to do. And He blessed me with the wisdom and the resources to do it, and I thank God for that.
And what a beautiful blessing. And I can really feel it in this book. Now, if anybody wants this book, where can they find it?
They can find In One Day on Amazon.com.
Yes.
And they can also call our 800 number that's listed on the screen.
Yes.
And they can order in bulk, or they can go on Amazon.com as well and order it.
And people who are wanting to get this book, what they're going to expect to get from the book? I know they will be reading it, but just to get them a little hint.
Well, number one, they'll have fun reading it.
Yes.
It'll be enjoyable for them.
I did. It was just great. I love the illustration too.
Yeah, all of the illustrations in the book are hand-drawn.
Yes.
And no, there's no computer animation, so Nolan Anderson is a wonderful illustrator that worked with me diligently to make sure he captured the essence of the story.
Yes.
And not only will you learn about different African American inventors that are less known, like John Love and the pencil sharpener and George Grant, who invented the golf tee, but you'll also experience the bond between Chubby and Mr. Davis, who was his father, who helps him go through the day and help him learn about different African American inventors and experience what life is like without not being able to use so many of these inventions. Yes. And understand firsthand what those contributions are, and go through that day with Chubby, and it feels like you're being deprived yourself, and
That's
you
right.
end up having a greater appreciation, and you see the love between Mr. Davis and Chubby, and the way he takes care of his son and models good behaviors for him throughout the book.
Yes. Now, you being African American, is it crazy to just say you find yourself also through this book, through this story?
I do, because it helps me understand there's so much that we can do.
Yes.
It helps me realize there's so much untapped potential in every single one of us. I'm blessed to be able to have the life that I've had thus far, but I know that there's so much more ahead of me and so much more ahead for all of us. We just have to tap into it and reach for it.
And that there is so much that have already been done by beautiful, amazing African Americans.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you, Sonia. I wish you very good luck. So if you want this book, In One Day, I really suggest you go and get it. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the Hour Show. I'm Awa. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. And remember to be loving to yourself today.